Hi there, this is Troy DeGroat from Managed Design. We're just coming off of our Bluebeam Academy 2017. I had a lot of fun teaching my Build a Better Bid class, so I thought I would put it together in a video real quick. With the power of rewind, you guys will be able to look at these different tools at your own pace. I'm going to go ahead and see how quickly I can run through my class and show some of the developments that I've been making with customers. Of course, with the tool in 2017, Quantity Link, I'm showcasing the power of that along with a lot of custom tools that I've built for customers and I just built along the way for my own testing of the Quantity Link. So let's get started. Right away, let's see, I'm going to open up the final product here. So I'm going to go through these drawings and I'm going to go ahead and mark these up with my different tools. So this is the PDF. You see the markups that I'm about to do throughout this cleaner set. And then I also have back here my Build a Better Bid spreadsheet. So this is my template of my projects. When I want to do a bid, I can go through and you can see all my itemized materials, and then I've got costs associated, and then we got a final project total down here. So I'm going to close that for now and open a fresh one. And then I'm going to jump back over into Bluebeam and start going. So we're going to start with area measurement. In this example, I'm going to go ahead and put in some flooring. I'm going to put in, let's do carpet. And there's a couple different ways that you can do area measurements, of course. So you can just click and drag and create carpet 1 for that area, or you can go through with your snaps on and click on these corners to get a more precise number. Of course, double click when you're finished. Or you can come, let's do one more with tile. I'll come over here and just click and drag that. And then I'm going to show you the dynamic fill, which is the newer way of doing the area measurement that came out in 2017. I love this feature. So first, I'm just going to select a boundary. So I'm going to come in here and close off this door. And then I can pick on my paint bucket here. And I'm going to select my area. Pull down, and then I can come in and say, I want this to be carpet. And these are all pulled from my custom tool sets. So I can very quickly just say carpet. And then all I need to do is come in here and pour paint. Make sure I go under the door. And when I'm done, I just apply and close. Okay, so that is my area. We'll now switch over to cutouts. So here, what I'm going to show is a wall panel takeoff. So I'm going to take my panel and I'm going to go ahead and trace this whole area. If I hold my shift key, little tip here, if I hold my shift key, I can drag that square footage up off the windows. Then what I'm going to do is go ahead and go to my cutout tool up here, do a polygon, and select that. Let's do another one, just click and drag. Okay, so now that I've drawn one of those, I can very quickly Control C to copy that, and then come over here and paste those. Control V to cover all my other windows. So whether I'm right on the money in the corner, it's giving me the correct size because I drew the first one right. So you get the idea there. Let's do another one for the big window here, polygon. drag that down, take that out. Okay, so now I want to label those as windows, as cutout, so I'm going to click on here. And what you'll see is when I come over that cutout area, I get this little pour cup, I guess it looks like, to select that area. If I actually hold my shift key, it'll select all of those cutout areas, and then I can just click once and it gives me all of those cutouts. So there is my wall panels. We'll jump back over. Let's see, we did that one, did that one. Let's do some more dynamic fill. So here, I'm going to jump into my landscape tool set, and I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to go up to my dynamic fill again, sorry. And I'm going to select my fill, and this time for the area I'm going to go down and select, I think it's down here, the pool. Now I can pour that water in here, enter, select apply, and then let's go ahead over to this other pool and make sure that we account for that one. Double check that we still have pool selected, and go ahead and drop this in and hit apply. Okay. The other thing that we can do is let's select this one here and put in a patio. So this time a dynamic fill again, and I'm going to select, go down to my bottom list again, and I'm going to do patio block and just drop it in here. Say apply. Have that laid out. Then I want to finish off my stone, so I'm going to do another dynamic fill in here, and this time go down and select the stone, and then all I need to do is go within this boundary here and let it fill that spot and say apply. Okay, so we've set up quite a few different things in the landscaping there. Let's close that and look at our list again. So here we did dynamic fill. Let's do sloped surfaces. So this one, I'll do just a traditional area measurement here. I am going to select under the roofing. I have a green roof on here, so I'm going to go and click on the corners, double click to finish. So now in here you see the square footage as if it's flat. If I come over to my properties and my measurement tab, I can come in and put a 612 pitch, or you can look at the different degrees or grades in there. I'm just going to do a 612, and you'll notice it labeled it with a 612 automatically, and the area measurement updated for me. Okay, so jump back here, surfaces. Now that we have a lot of those markups for landscaping done, I'm going to show you how to make a legend here. All of the tools that are within my tool set here, I can create a legend of that. Just go to the gearbox legend, create new legend, and we'll drop that down here. So now this is telling us the area of all of those different symbols and colors on my sheet. Okay, just keep going back to my checklist here so I don't forget anything. Custom count tools. Okay, let's jump over here. We're going to make a sync tool real quick. There's a snapshot under the edit tab, and I'm going to turn off my content, snap to content, draw a window. It takes a picture. I'm going to paste it right away, and then I'm going to select that one and go to my properties, change colors, and I want to change it from black to red so it looks like a markup. Say OK. And then I can right click, add that to my tool chest, and then I can delete that one because I now have one saved up here. If I right click on that and create a count tool, now I'm able to go ahead and place these, and it'll count however many I place on my plants. Okay, but I'm going to do that a little quicker using my search, get rectangle. I'm going to go ahead and search for sinks. Gives me a little preview here. I'm going to search the current page and just click on search. I have it set up for multiple rotations, and I have the sensitivity set pretty low so that it catches everything that is the sink. So now that we're at 100% down here, it's going to show me it found 38 sinks. I can go through and confirm that those are all sinks. Then what I'm going to do is come up here and check all. You can see that button there. And then I have a choice here. I can go ahead and highlight all those, but what I want to do is apply a count measurement. And I'm going to go ahead and come down to my sink count, click on that. So now you'll see that the sink was placed on all of my sinks throughout my drawing here. Okay, go back here. Split, merge, and continue. That I'm going to show you the fire and safety here. So we've got a horn that we're going to place. I have no idea where you would place horns. It's not my specialty, so I'm just going to drop some throughout there. Smoke detectors, I would imagine those need to be sporadic around the area, so no areas left out. What I want to show you here is that once those are all grouped, you can see the dots in that whole group. I can right click on that and split counts, and that's going to split that one off of the other ones in that group. So now it's its own. I can right click on there and resume count and add to that particular count. So now this one's going to register 3. You can see those dots in there. And this one's going to be 4 of them that we had previously. So the other thing that I can do is, so we split, we continued, and then if I actually hold my shift key and grab both of these groups of horns, I can right click and merge counts. So now they're all recording together. Okay. Symbol legends. So now that we placed those smoke detectors and horns, we can come back to our fire and safety. And for this one, I actually saved the legend into my tool set after I created it, so I don't have to modify that again every time I create and drop it on a sheet. So this is telling me, you know, this is the symbol, this is what it stands for, and this is how many there are. And I want to remind you here, we'll jump back into our Excel file. While we're doing this, all of these markups are being recorded in our spreadsheet here. I've got the 7 and the 8 horns. We've still got a ways to go here with, there you can see the landscaping stuff, the green roof. We still have a ways to go on markups, so let's keep going. We did the symbol, length of material. We'll jump into our structural example. I've got all these beams already highlighted. I just want to mark the last 2 to show you an example. So I'm going to go into my steel takeoffs, 21 by 44, and click here, click there. You can see how quickly I can create a steel takeoff here just by tracing. I assign different colors to all of these beam sizes, and it's going to collect those on our spreadsheet as well. Jump in there, length of material, let's go back to a wall panel connection. So here I was working with a customer that does wall panels for exterior, and they had, I believe, what they called a Z-strip, and they needed them 24 inches on center vertically. And so we figured out, we ended up drawing a line in plan that would give us, basically go off of the depth or the height of the building and tell us how many rows there are of Z-strips, and then figure out a quantity for us. So if I jump into my Excel file and I look at my wall panels, it's telling me there's 54 feet of that. So it's going to give us a quantity of those as well. Let's see. Poly length. So here we've got mechanical drawing. I've already got some of the 11 by 11 supplied highlighted, but I'm going to come in here and go back to my mechanical tools and select my 10-inch diameter and go ahead and trace over these drawings. Again, double click when I'm done. Okay, so it labels it for me, it tells me how long it is, and I've got it preset to a certain color, and so it knows what type of material it is. Okay, so I would just go around the whole plan and do my different sizes in there. For wiring or pipe or lots of other things, there is a new command in 2017 called the rise and drop. That is in combination with the poly length. So if I come in here and I want to do Cat 5, I can click on that, come out of my data room. Again, wiring is not my background, so I'm just going to run a line there and then pretend we need to drop and cover all these cubes. All these cubicles. And then what we can do is select all those. If I hold my shift key, I can select each one of those markups, because we know the horizontal dimension, but now if we come over to my measure tab, I can tell it to drop 10 feet on each side, so I'll just put a total of 20 feet in the rise drop. This is also where you could have it, maybe you want to add another 10 feet just so that it's not expecting, when it goes through the joist and everything, it's going to move around. You'll need some slop there. So maybe you add 25 or 30. Kind of depends. You can also work formulas in where you're adding 20% or 10% slop, so that you're accounting for all of that. Okay, and then we'll put in some Cat 6. We'll just draw these to each one of these offices. Just account for some of that. I didn't put the rise drop on those. Select those. Come on. And we'll put a rise drop of 20 in there as well. Cover each end. Okay, rise drop, we're getting there. Wall area and plan. This was a tricky one. When you're doing wall panels like we showed before in an elevation view, it's impossible to get this curved wall. So we came up with this tool. So we would just come in here and we'd click on the end here and the end here. That's close enough, right? Now we'll click on it, right click, convert to an arc. And then if you need the grips to kind of match that radius, you can do that. Ours matches up pretty good. And then I just take that markup and make sure that I have a 36-foot depth to it to account for the height of that wall. And then it'll give me that wall area here is almost 4,000 square feet. Okay, so before you do any of this, of course, you want to make sure that you're calibrating your drawings and storing that scale in the drawing so that all of these are accurate numbers when you're doing those bids or those markups. But let's have a look at our spreadsheet and see how we did. Let's see. Oh, we still need to do a foundation and a wood frame wall. So let's go back. Let's go back and do that. So my foundation wall, I'm going to go to, let's see here. Go to my foundation plan and look at my tools again. I've got a concrete takeoff. Here I'm going to do a 4-inch slab and make sure that this is 4 inches for my depth, and then just trace where my pour is going to be. Go from there to there. Okay, that gives me a couple of them, and then I'm going to go through. These are marked as 35-inch deep footings. So I'm going to grab that, make sure this says 35 inches over here for my depth, and I'm just going to trace those pad footings. Okay, and then the last one I'll show on concrete is this concrete pier. I'm going to make sure that this is a 5-foot tall pier and just drop this where they go. Okay, I'm going to look at my thumbnails again. I need to put a wall in. I'm going to show you the wood framed wall. Let's go back to here. And maybe I'll just use one of these walls here as an example. Go back to my tool chest and go to my wood framing. And I'm calling this a 4-foot wall. I've got it set up as a knee wall, I guess, in the other example that I used. So we're just going to run with it. It's going to be 4 feet for the depth. And then I'm just going to go ahead and trace some of these walls. Come in here. And this one's really cool. As you saw, I just drew one line, but in my markups, in my takeoffs over here, that line represents the 2x6 base plate. I also used it to give me a double top plate. The stud 16 inches on center tells me how many. The foam that would go underneath your treated lumber comes in 50-foot rolls, so it tells me how many rolls I need. Anchor bolts at 72 inches on center. Batted insulation, how many rolls we need of that. And then the sheething, if these were set up to be exterior walls, so this would be a 3/4 sheething on the one side, how many sheets I need, and then of course I put all the prices in for those as well. So we went through, we checked all the boxes here, and now we can see we came up with a bid. It added our numbers, all of our markups, and came up with 1.2 million for our markup here, or for our building estimate. Let's jump back over here. I think we finished everything on our checklist, so I'm going to click